All right, so let's talk Chicago housing market. I'm excited to share with you what's going on because there's a lot of good stuff. People say to me, well, before I get to that, people often say to me, Ann, how's the market? And I typically will say something like, well, it depends. Are you thinking of buying, selling, investing, or leasing? It really depends on what your goals are. Now, I would say it depends. Where are you looking to buy? Where are you looking to sell? What are you trying to accomplish? Because it is all over the board, but really exciting. And depending on what your goals are, it's a great time to take advantage of the marketplace. In general, our prices in Chicago along the lakefront neighborhoods are steady. We're seeing a median sales price of $440,000. But if you've watched the show before, I'm a total statistics geek, and I love talking about statistics, and it really varies depending on median, average, all that stuff we learned in school. So I'm going to walk you through single family homes, condominiums by neighborhood, and talk to you about what's happening. Let's look first at the median sales price of single family homes in Chicago. Right now, the median sales price along the lakefront neighborhoods is $1,072,500. And you can see that this price has risen steadily since 2018. It's a very healthy market for single family homes in Chicago. In fact, it's gone up 43% over the last 10 years. Again, this is a median sales price, and it includes several different neighborhoods along the lakefront. So it's just an overview, but just to give you an historical perspective, if indeed you invested in a single family home, it's very possible that you've seen between 20 and 50% appreciation over the last 10 years. Good for you. Let's break it down by neighborhood. And I'm taking some of the more popular neighborhoods and showing you how prices have gone up. I am going to do two things right now while my son's alarm goes off. I'm going to put on my computer glasses so I can see better, and I'm going to get my tea ready to drink. Okay, so let's look at median sales prices in Chicago by neighborhood. The median sales price in Lincoln Park is $1,645,000, and you can see that up here in the red. Lakeview, $1,400,000, basically median sales price. North Center, $1,140,000, and when we say North Center, that means west of Ashland, a little bit bigger than the Roscoe Village area. Logan Square is now $835,000 for a median price single family home. As you probably know, that's where our Mayor Lightfoot, lives, and it has risen significantly in price. As you know, I always like to talk months supply of single family homes. Months supply is an indication of the rate of sale. It's how fast homes are selling. So you've probably heard this from anybody you've talked to who's thinking about buying a single family home. There's very little inventory. Now in Lincoln Park right now, in all price points, there's about a 2.8, it should just say 2.8, not 2.8%, 2.8 months. What that means is it'll take 2.8 months to sell out what's currently on the market, given today's rate of sale. And that has declined by 46%. Lakeview is 2.6. And then it's really hot in North Center and Logan Square, where the prices are lower. And you'll see that we have 1 and 1.5 months worth of supply in those two neighborhoods. Let's look at sales volume year to date, and this is kind of a fun number to look at. This is, again, by neighborhood, and I want to take our time to look at these one by one. First of all, Lincoln Park. This is where we are year to date, 2021, 700 million. Not a surprise that it's significantly higher, in fact, 67% higher than last year. Although, let me again reiterate, and I've said this a few shows ago, but I want to bring it back again. When we hit COVID mid-March, we were going into one of our strongest years ever. Last year, January, February, first half of March was record. So it really tailed off after that. The closings are 60 days beyond when they go under contract, generally speaking. So this number is through May of 2021, and it is bigger, but it's still significantly bigger than 2019, which was a very good year as well. So, Lincoln Park, way to go. Let's look at Lakeview. Lakeview, again, way up. It's almost $600 million in sales. North Center, bigger, not as huge of an increase over previous year, but very strong, and the same for Logan Square. But it's interesting to see the sales volume. Lincoln Park and Lakeview are the epicenter of single family home sales in Chicago. Let's talk about condos. I'm going to switch it up here. We're going to change the neighborhoods a little bit. The median sales price for a single family home in Westtown is actually higher than Lincoln Park right now, $490,000 versus $480,000. Here you see Westtown, and look at this significant increase. I remember in 2012 when we were at the bottom after the 2008 implosion of real estate, thinking Westtown was one of the neighborhoods that took it the hardest. But boy, oh boy, look at that increase and see how they've increased in price. And they're now up to $490,000 in median sales price. Lincoln Park, $480,000. And it's gone up. Absolutely. It's very healthy. Near North, again, is an interesting concept. Near North, as you know, is Streeterville, River North, Gold Coast, and it is the very center of the most number of condominiums for sale in Chicago. And it includes, so many studios, 1s and 2s. And so it doesn't have the bigger square footage per unit, and it doesn't have the highest square foot per unit necessarily. But $405,000 is the median sales price of the condominiums in the Near North neighborhood. And then the Loop, the median sales price is $370,000. But I want to show you it's ticking up, and I'll talk to you about that right now. That was on a 12-month basis. Now we're looking at on a monthly basis, and we're looking at, I forgot to change the title. I did this morning, apologies. This chart is actually average sales price. Average, meaning we take the volume and divide it by the number of the sales. And look at the Loop. That's the story of the day. The reason this number is so high is, number one, activity is increasing, yes. But number two, we had a bunch of closings at the St. Regis, which was called the Wanda Vista. It's now St. Regis. It's that big, beautiful building in Lakeshore East. And I'll show you a picture of it in a little while. But that means that the average sales price of condominiums in the Loop is the highest right now, thanks to that good luxury business. Near North, average sales price is $546,000 plus. Westtown, $505,000, and Lincoln Park here is $580,000. So if you're looking at average sales price, the highest place in Chicago right now, Loop, followed by Lincoln Park, and then Near North. Now we're going to talk about number of closed sales. Number of closed sales, again, it's kind of hard to see because these are monthly numbers that are jumping all over the place, but let's look at it here. Lincoln Park, this month had 163 sales of condos, and that was up 130% versus previous year. But let's find where it is. It's the purplish, so it's this one right here. And you can see it's having some of its highest sales in the last 5 years. Go Lincoln Park. So very good and strong market. Westtown, this is the gold here. It's 210 units, up 81%. Again, highest sales and probably ever, really. It's certainly in the last 5 years that you can see on this chart, but even beyond that. Let's look at the Near North. River North, Streeterville, Gold Coast, 324. We're finally getting back to the volume that we've had in previous years. Look at this, we're back to like 2018 levels. We're really coming out of this COVID low sales thing, and it's really happening. And then of course the Loop 105 up almost 200%, just as Near North is up 200%. It has a lower volume. There aren't as many condominiums in the Loop neighborhood, but rest assured it is happening in the Loop. So boy, oh boy, we're breaking through. Now, under contract is less of a lagging indicator. It's closings that are coming up. Let's look at Loop first. Loop is the purplish. It's down here. It's the reddish. Okay, under contract today in the Loop, 111. Now, some of these St. Regis properties are not showing up under contract. So I think when we see closings next month, again, this is going to go up. Lincoln Park, 163 up 85. Westtown, 190 up 32. And Near North, go Near North. The inventory on it has been so high, and look at the number of sales taking place in the Near North neighborhood. And this chart's going to really explain all that too. We had such high inventories in the Near North and the Loop because of COVID and because of some civil unrest. Nothing was downtown. People weren't working in the Loop, so they were thinking about moving out. But this is really turning around. So Near North, we're down to 8.8 months supply. Loop, we're down to 9.1 months supply. And it is looking great. Westtown has less than a 2-month supply of condos. This includes Ukrainian Village, around Division. It is hopping in Westtown. Lincoln Park, also only a 2.9 month supply of condominiums. So, this market is hot, hot, hot. So let's look at sales volume. All right, this is again, condominiums only. Look at Loop, up 300, almost 300% versus previous year. And then the year before that, where, it was like a regular market, the Loop has gone gangbusters. Let me just remind you, we've got 3 new construction buildings going on in the Loop that you should be aware of. There's the Parkline, represented by Baird & Warner at 60 Randolph, really terrific building. There's the Cirrus, which is Lakeshore East. It is the newest one going up that you see along Lakeshore Drive, right at the river or south of the river. And then, of course, the St. Regis still has condominiums for sale. So we've got all that. In addition, there have been some great sales recently in buildings that are already up, and that is just making for wonderful business in the Loop. Near North. Near North has more units, as we talked about. Volume, 567 million year to date. That's up 40% versus last year, and tracking just slightly behind 2019, 579 million, 568 million. Lincoln Park is the gold. Lincoln Park is up almost 100% versus previous year. The $366 million compares really favorably to 2019, where it was 228 million. I think I said 1,000. 366 million in volume versus 228. And then Westtown, of course, no surprise, it's up 46%. It didn't experience as great a downturn during COVID, but its $440 million sales is up over 301 million and up over 291 million. So again, condominium sales in Chicago are strong. We are seeing a resurgence from COVID, and sales in the Loop and Near North are doing extremely well, whereas we're seeing very low inventories and hopping volume in the outer neighborhoods. So that's a quick look at what's going on with sales in the Chicago area. If you have any questions about those, please shoot me a line and we can talk about that more.